Hello everyone, welcome back to the LTL Language School YouTube channel with myself Max from the marketing team. Today we're going to introduce you to a must download app that you need when going to mainland China, and that app is called Alipay. Now we've already filmed 2 videos with Alipay before. These are 4 years old though, so they're slightly outdated, and we've had a ton of questions from our current students about what needs to be done. So today we're going to introduce you to how to connect your bank card to Alipay. Let's go. So the first question you may have is, what exactly is Alipay? So this is an app you can download on your Android or Apple phone, and Alipay allows you to pay for things without using cash, which in this day and age is essential in mainland China. So it's very easy to download. It can be done within a few clicks. And once you've downloaded the Alipay app, you will have your own QR code. You'll be able to scan to make payments and be scanned as well by merchants when you buy things. There's also lots of mini apps inside of Alipay. Now, we're not going to go into all of those today because there's too many, but there is one very significant one called TourCard that we're going to talk about, and that is where we're going to go next. Now, TourCard gives foreigners the ability to come to China and not have to use cash. Now, TourCard used to be known as TourPass, and that's what we talked about in our videos 4 years ago. However, TourPass has now been discontinued and it's essentially been rebranded to TourCard. Almost the same, but with some subtle differences that you need to know about before coming to China, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So you can access TourCard very easily by just going to the search bar at the top and typing in TourCard. You will then open the mini app, and then you will be shown a welcome screen in which you need to sign up. So once you've entered the TourCard mini app, you will be shown a screen which essentially is your new bank account. So they open an account for you within seconds with 0 CNY in. And what you need to do is connect your foreign card to the app and then top up your TourCard. You can then use your QR code to make purchases at restaurants, at supermarkets, at all kinds of different merchants and vendors. However, there are a number of drawbacks about TourCard that we need to mention to you because you've had lots of questions about these before, and I want to go through them with you right now. So the first drawback is that this can only be used in mainland China. So if you're studying with us in Taiwan or in anywhere else across Asia, this won't work even if you see the Alipay sign at the vendor or merchant. This is only a mainland China thing. The second drawback is that your TourCard, once activated, is only 180 days old. So make sure if you're coming to China for exactly 6 months to not activate it until you arrive. If you're coming for 3 months or 4 weeks or something like this, you're absolutely fine. If, however, you're staying for longer than 6 months, you will need to reactivate a new TourPass after 180 days because it will expire. And make sure to spend all of the money on your TourCard before it expires because you will lose that money. Another drawback is that you cannot transfer. So for example, if I went for dinner with someone and I owed them money, I can't transfer them the money. I would have to give them cash or find another way to do this. If you have a Chinese bank card, if you're lucky enough to have one, you can do this no problem, but with the TourCard, you cannot. Another drawback, yes, I know there's quite a few, is that there is a limit on how much you can use in these 6 months, and the limit is 10,000 CNY, so you cannot top up any more than this. You can do this in multiple top-ups if you wish, or one big top-up, depending on first blooper, depending on how much you think you're going to spend. So 10,000 CNY, just to give you a better idea, is roughly $1,400 at the time of recording, 1,275 euros or 1,100 pounds. So depending on how much you think you will spend in China, it's important to be aware of this figure. If you're only there for 2-3 weeks and you don't think you'll spend that much, great, you've got no problems. If, however, you're going to be in China for 4 to 5 months, let's say, you might need more spending money and will need to look at some alternatives, which, don't worry, we're going to come to very soon. Quite possibly the most irritating drawback of all is that Alipay actually charges a fee to do this. And that fee, unfortunately, is not so cheap. It's 5%. So, for example, if you want to top up the full 10,000 CNY, you'll be paying a 500 CNY charge to do this. In USD, that's 70. In euros, that's about 65, and I've forgotten how many pounds that is. Can you help me out, Rushi?
That's £55 max.
£55, there you go. So this is actually very expensive to do, but unfortunately, there aren't many solutions, so it's still one that you will need to look into, but be aware that you will have a service fee to pay on top of it. Okay, another thing that's important to mention as well, you might be wondering what kind of cards are compatible with Alipay. Now, first disclaimer, this will vary on a case-by-case basis. There's no definitive, absolute yes, it's guaranteed that this type of card will work or not. So you will have to try yourself, unfortunately, and find out. On the Alipay app, as you can see on the screen now, they accept 4 types of card at the moment. That's Visa, MasterCard, Diners Club, and I've forgotten the last
JCB.
JCB, thank you very much, you saved me. JCB. There will also be American Express added soon, but that's not been added yet. So any Amex users, stay tuned. There, I'm sure will be some news soon. But for now, only those 4 types of card work. As I said before, this doesn't mean if you've got a Visa that you'll connect and everything will work fine. You will need to try. Okay, so coming out of TourCard and back into the main Alipay app itself, you can get around this if you wish by doing something else. And that's simply by adding your bank card to Alipay itself. So TourCard, remember, is a mini app inside of Alipay. So we're going to come back to Alipay and we're going to add our bank card. Now this is really easy to do. I'm just going to get my bank card here. Is all you need to do is open your QR code just like this, and you'll have the option to add a bank card. And I'm just going to add, I'm going to scan my bank number, and then straight away it's received my number. I'm going to submit it, and then I just need to put my details in. So Rushi, you're going to edit this out for me, I hope. And as if by magic, my bank card has linked. Success, there you go. So now what happens, when I have my QR code here, I can choose my default type of payment. So I'll set it to my foreign one, and I will show the QR code to the vendor at 7-Eleven or Family Mart or the restaurant, and hopefully it will work. But again, I must stress this, I've said it a few times, but it's super important. It's not a guarantee it will work. Try it and see what happens. You will need a backup to this, and we're going to talk about those right now. So a backup that I personally would highly recommend is to sign up to a Wise card. So Wise is another app completely separate. It's actually a UK run company, and they allow you to hold currencies worldwide. Now I'm not going to do their marketing for them. I'll let you go and check them out yourselves. But essentially what you can do, for example, I'm from the UK, so I would add my bank account in the UK to Wise, add pounds, and then you can transfer that in the app or exchange to CNY. This is much cheaper than doing it at your local travel agent, at the airport, or withdrawing. The fees with Wise are incredibly cheap, and that is a real benefit. So you can store CNY on your Wise card, and you'll be able to use that in China at vendors. You can also, if I can bring it up now, there you go. You've got on your Apple Wallet, the Wise card there. So you should just be able to tap the reader and it should work. But again, it's not a guarantee. Just make sure that you have a contingency plan. The third contingency plan I would always suggest wherever you go, despite the fact China is a cashless society these days, I would still take some cash. It's very, very useful to just have a few hundred CNY in your wallet just in case of emergencies. Do be aware that numerous places you go to will simply not accept cash anymore, bizarrely. That's just the way it is. However, keep some with you because you never know where you might need it. A taxi is a very good example. So cash, Wise card, TourPass, Alipay, you should be fine with those 4 things. So that brings us to the end of our guide on how to use Alipay and TourCard and what to do with money in China. But we'd love to hear from you guys as well. On our previous Alipay videos, we've had a ton of comments. I mean, hundreds. In fact, they're our most viewed videos on our YouTube channel for a reason. So are you in China right now, or have you been there in the last year? What did you do with money? Do you have a Chinese bank account? Do you have a foreign one? Which worked, which didn't? We'd love to hear from you. We're still testing this ourselves with all our students. There's no correlation as to what cards or nationalities work. So drop us a comment below. If you've got this far, you love the content, so please give us a like and subscribe to our channel for lots more useful tips on apps and language learning. From me and Lex, it's goodbye.